Alright guys, time for what if Goku was reborn with all his memories. I've seen a lot of people do this, it was kind of cringe, but you all voted for it, so I have no choice but to do it. With all that being said, let's get it started. Goku would wake up in a space pod. He would be confused. As he looked around, the space pod looked like the kind Vegeta and Nappa used to get to Earth. As Goku got out of the space pod, for some reason it looked a lot bigger than it should. But then he looked around, everything looked bigger than it should. Suddenly, he would see Grandpa Gohan walk out. Goku was confused. He didn't have a halo. He'd walk up to him and say, Who wished you back to life? Grandpa Gohan looked down at him confused. Wished me back to life? What are you talking about, boy? Boy? Goku would then look down at himself through some water, reflection, and he would realize something. He was a kid again. This can't be. This is impossible, Goku thought. Grandpa Gohan would take him in, and Goku would be, well, since he was an adult, way better behaved. Goku would pretty much just train and act normal, even though he was very confused and saddened that his family was gone, and that he's going to have to rebuild them from scratch, even if he even can. One night, Goku would be curious if his form still worked, so he would try to turn Super Saiyan and it worked. Then he would go up to God, then Blue. Goku was happy that all these forms worked. Now, I guess all he could do was wait for Bulma to show up. And Goku knew not to look at the full moon, so Grandpa Gohan wouldn't die. Goku thought about continuing the timeline, but he just couldn't bring himself to do it. However, eventually someone would show up. It wasn't Bulma, it was Kami. Kami would look at Goku. Goku would be confused. What are you doing here? Kami would say, I felt a massive presence. Goku then realized something. Kami is somewhat of a guardian of Earth. That means he's somewhat of a god. He can sense somewhat of God Ki. He sensed Goku's massive energy and went to check it out. Of course, Goku didn't think of that. Goku would say, I need to wait here for someone. Kami would be confused as he would try to get Goku to come out to his lookout to train. He didn't seem like a bad kid after all, but he wanted to make sure his intentions were pure. And Grandpa Gohan actually agreed, but Goku would not go. He refused, saying, I must wait. Kami would reluctantly agree to let him wait. As Kami left to go back to the lookout, Goku simply sat down. Grandpa Gohan would say, what are you waiting for? Someone to show up. I know they will. They have to jumpstart a journey. A journey? Grandpa Gohan would say, confused. Goku wouldn't be the same in this timeline, obviously. Grandpa Gohan realized that he wasn't like, well, even when Goku was grown up, he wasn't super mature, but Goku didn't act like most kids. He was more serious about what was going on around him. And he was more concerned about Grandpa Gohan than anything. Grandpa Gohan really liked Goku, and he was happy to spend time with him. Eventually, however, a girl would show up, and her name was Bulma. Grandpa Gohan would be there with the Dragon Ball, and Goku would simply just give it to her as soon as she showed up, and he would say, let's go. Grandpa Gohan said, wait, you're just gonna go like that? Goku would look at him and say, yeah? Why? Grandpa Gohan would say, do you need any food or anything? Nah. Master Roshi will have food. Bulma would say, who's Master Roshi? Grandpa Gohan would say, how do you know about Master Roshi? Oh, word gets around. Alright, see you, Grandpa. Him and Bulma would then leave. Goku would then think about it, and he decided he would have to hide his power level. Luckily, Dr. Gero wouldn't have drones yet looking at him, so they wouldn't have noticed him turn into Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God. But eventually, Dr. Gero is going to start to watch, and when he does, he needs to make sure he doesn't turn Super Saiyan or anything. Otherwise, that can make him far more powerful and much more of a threat. As Goku and Bulma went to Master Roshi's house and did a bunch of other things, Goku would pretty much speedrun Dragon Ball, since Goku knew what was going to happen and was far, far stronger. So, there's really not much to cover until he got to Master Roshi's house. As Goku and Bulma would go there, this time Master Roshi would give him the Flying Nimbus, and Goku would ask to train under him like in canon. But this training was simply so Goku could talk to Master Roshi and spend time with him. Master Roshi agreed, and Goku completed every single challenge he had. And Goku would simply talk to him and act like a normal kid, but He would have a good time, and Master Roshi would be confused on how strong Goku was, and how he even knew the Kamehameha. And Goku just pretended to learn it, but, it was still very impressive. However, Goku realized something. Pilaf needs to get King Piccolo so he can get Piccolo. After all, Piccolo's a good guy. He deserves to be born. So, him and Bulma would eventually make their wish, and Pilaf would be more and more concerned as things would go in canon and summon King Piccolo. As Goku speedrunned all the other arcs, all he had to do was take care of King Piccolo. Tambourine would fly down to try to kill Krillin, but he would jump up and kick off Tambourine's head. Krillin would look at him and say, "Wow, you saw him coming." "Yeah, I did," Goku would say, smiling. "I'll always protect you, buddy." Krillin laughed at Goku. Krillin actually liked Goku from the start in this alternate timeline. Goku seemed less focused on competing with Krillin and more just having fun with him. At first, that kind of ticked Krillin off, but Krillin got around to it. Goku would then go over to where King Piccolo was since he could sense his energy. He was going to stop him from getting the Dragon Balls and wisdom from eternal youth, although it wouldn't matter in the long run. King Piccolo began to get the Dragon Balls when suddenly he spotted something. He felt an energy walking towards him. Goku was suppressed, since Goku didn't want them to know how strong he was. So King Piccolo just simply looked at the kid. "You're a bold one for walking up to me. Do you even know who I am?" Goku says, "Doesn't matter, because you're about to be dead soon." King Piccolo then looked at him angrily, as he stretched out his hand to try to grab him, but then he appeared behind him and kicked him to the floor. Goku could kill him right here and now, but then he wouldn't birth Piccolo. He was going to have to beat him up, make him frustrated. Then he was going to have to slowly kill him so he can birth out his son. King Piccolo got up and said, "How dare you mock me? I am the great Demon King." Goku would laugh and say, "Demon, huh? It's funny to think you were a demon." King Piccolo looked down and say, "What are you talking about?" "Well, you're more like a slug person." This would piss King Piccolo off more than anything. But he couldn't do anything. Goku would simply beat him up. Every time he got up, he would punch him down to the ground. Every time he did something, he would hit him. Every time he tried anything, he would hit him with a ki blast. Piccolo kept being more and more injured as he tried, but he couldn't do anything. He got more and more frustrated until Goku went for the kill and pushed his fist straight through his stomach. This would cause Piccolo to shoot out an egg, as then Goku would simply kill King Piccolo. As he looked, he saw the egg go flying by, and he knew Piccolo would be born. As he smiled, he would get married to Chi-Chi, and he was excited. He did it. He managed to complete the timeline. Sure, there may have been a few changes here and there, but overall, everything was good. And Grandpa Gohan was even alive, and probably was going to live for a long time, since Master Roshi would probably teach him the immortal technique. So, everything seemed nice. It seemed like there would be no more problems. At least that's what everyone thought, except for Goku, who knew, of course. Eventually, though, he would go to a World Martial Arts tournament, and Piccolo would show up. Eventually, though, Piccolo Jr. would show up for a tournament, and Goku would be excited to fight him. He would know everything about Piccolo Jr., about how he wasn't as bad as his father, how he just wanted revenge because he didn't know what to do with his life. And Goku actually smiled, and this time, Goku didn't even say anything towards him. Piccolo simply talked about him, about how he would avenge his father, and Goku looked at him and said, "Okay." This pissed Piccolo off. Eventually, they would begin to battle each other, but this time, Goku would try to act. He didn't want everyone to know how strong he was, so he would try to pretend that he was struggling. As Piccolo turned giant, Goku hit him with a Kamehameha. Piccolo tried to resist it, but Goku put in just enough energy to push him out. But for a split second, Piccolo saw it. He felt it. He felt Goku's true power. It was immense. As much as Goku tried to hide it, Piccolo was a master martial artist, and he could see through it. Piccolo would fall to the ground, beat up, as Kami would offer to kill himself, but Goku would deny it, and even give him a senzu bean. As Piccolo ate it, he looked at Goku and sighed as he walked off. It's been quite a while since Goku was a kid. He's married Chi-Chi, had a son, and he's been hiding his power level. It's been hard. He always wanted to show off. He always wanted to fight. So it's hard to hide it, but he's been doing it. He knows if he shows off his real power, Dr. Gero will be able to make stronger androids, and maybe even Cell will be far more powerful. He just couldn't let that happen. So, Goku waited and waited, and went to Master Roshi's house for a visit, like in canon. Except this time, he knew it was coming. Eventually, as Raditz landed down and explained everything, Goku looked at him and began to walk up to him and say, "Look, brother, go back in your space pod and leave. I don't want to hurt you." Raditz looked at him and said, "What are you talking about? Hurt me?" He would then scan his power level and laugh at him. "Your power level is only at 300. Goku then smirked and said, "You rely too much on that thing. Trust me. Just go back to where you came from." Raditz would then get more annoyed as he would shoot a double Sunday, but then Goku would appear behind Raditz. Raditz would look at him horrified and confused. How did he dodge that? It had to be some sort of fluke. He shot another ki blast, but Goku just kept dodging again and again and again. Goku looked at him and said, "Listen, you're my brother, so I'm going to let you leave this planet. But I don't want you to hurt anyone. You can run away from the Frieza Force. Do whatever you want. Just don't." Raditz simply looked at him and said, "Shut up. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why you're taking pity on me. I am not weaker than you." Raditz would try to punch Goku, but he simply grabbed his hand and twisted it so far it almost broke. Goku would say, "I could kill you right here, right now. You are powerless. Now leave." But then Goku would pick up Raditz's scouter and say, "I got this strong by making a wish with the Dragon Balls," which was a lie. He just knew Vegeta and Nappa were listening, and he wanted them to come by. He put it back on Raditz's head. Raditz said, What are you doing?" "I said that so your friends will come here." Raditz looked shocked, but Goku knew even if they knew it was a trap, they would still show up since they saw him as a low-class warrior. Goku then let go of Raditz's arm. Raditz could try to fight, but every time he tried to attack Goku, Goku simply just blocked it. Raditz got so annoyed and so fed up, he decided he was going to blow up the planet. As he began to charge a massive energy blast, Goku simply hit him in the back of the head, knocking him out. As he took him down to Master Roshi's house and would watch over him. Eventually, Raditz would wake up and Goku would say, "Do you need another timeout?" Like a parent looking at its kids. Raditz sighed, saying, "No, I'll go." As Raditz got up and prepared to leave. But then Goku said, "You are family. Maybe you can stick around here. Remembering how Vegeta turned good, maybe Raditz can have a chance." Raditz looks at him, and Raditz decides to actually do it, since Goku is actually very strong. But as soon as those Saiyans arrive, he's gonna leave, and he tells him that. Goku would laugh and say, "Alright." Then Goku would fly towards Piccolo with his son, and say, "Saiyans are gonna show up, can you train him?" Piccolo would look at him and say, "What?" Go and look up confused and scared too. As Goku would say, "Don't worry, he'll become your best friend. He will be like family to you." Piccolo looks at him and say, "Listen, Goku, I think you're insane, because there's no way I'm going to train your run. Oh, bad people are coming in a year. You don't have a choice." He throws Gohan to Piccolo. "Take good care of my son." This flies away. As Piccolo looks annoyed, confused, and angry, Piccolo then looks down at Gohan. Goku did this to make sure Piccolo turns good, because this is what turned him good originally. Even though the circumstances are different, he is sure that this has to do something. So Piccolo agrees to train Gohan, even though secretly they don't really need to, because Goku already has it covered. Goku would smile as he went back home, and Chi-Chi would ask where his son was, and that was an awkward conversation. Chi-Chi would demand that, Goku gets him back, and yeah, this made Goku a little upset. Goku would visit Gohan every now and again as Piccolo trained him, and yeah, a year would eventually pass as the Saiyans landed. As Vegeta and Nappa both got out of the space pods, they both looked up, and they saw Goku. Goku would look down at them. As Vegeta and Nappa got ready to blow up the city, Goku would say, I know where the Dragon Balls are. If you don't blow up the city, I can show you. Vegeta and Nappa were a little hesitant, but they decided to follow along. If he was so strong because of this wish, how come he didn't fight them? Besides, he must have been wished to be strongest on the planet or something. Not strongest in the universe, so they can't compete with them. Goku would fly down to a barren wasteland and he would say, sorry for lying, I just didn't want you to destroy any people. Vegeta and Nappa looked pissed, or at least Nappa did. Vegeta laughed. Oh, you made my colleague upset. He will show you what's for. Piccolo and Gohan both arrived, and even Raditz and the rest of them, ready to fight. As Vegeta said, looks like you changed teams. Raditz looked scared as Goku looked and said, you know, Vegeta, you say that now, but I know later in the line we'll be friends. Vegeta looked at him pissed. What are you talking about, Kakarot? You're insane. I think you're so scared of dying, you become insane. It's a shame, Kakarot. You would have made a fair member of our team, better than Raditz anyway. Well, I guess that's not saying much. Nappa, you can take care of him. Nappa would run towards Goku as he'd throw a punch, but Goku would just dodge and laugh. You know, you really never got a chance at life, big guy. I never really thought about that till now. That's kind of sad. Nappa looked at him and got angry. I don't know what you're talking about. As he kept throwing punches after punches after punches, but he just dodged it again and again and again and again, till Nappa got so fed up he began to charge all of his energy into his mouth, as he shot a mouth beam straight at Goku, but then he just appeared behind him. Well, that was fun. Nappa would then yell, I am an elite warrior, and you just come here like this, just to mock me? How dare you? I am the mighty Nappa, But then Goku just simply kicked him to the floor, knocking him out, and then looked at Vegeta. Alright, Vegeta, you can go now. Don't worry, when you head off to Namek, I'll be there. Vegeta looks at him and goes, what are you talking about? Namek, You're strange, Kakarot. Maybe that was one of the wishes. I see now. Goku would look at him confused. Vegeta would say, I figured it out. You wish to be the strongest in the universe or something. But that power gone to your head and it made you crazy. Or maybe the Dragon Balls has that side effect. It turns you insane. Goku would look at him, as the rest of his friends would honestly think that makes sense, as Goku has been acting weird recently, and ever since they met him, he simply just acted like almost he knew what was going to happen, and he would talk future tense and all kinds of stuff, so they think he was insane, and Goku sighed as everyone thought he was crazy. Well, I'm not really crazy, but you can think what you want to. Anyway, don't worry, I'll hold back so I can fight you. Vegeta would say, I'm the Prince of all Saiyans. You don't need to hold back against me. As Goku and Vegeta both began to battle each other. As Vegeta and Goku kept battling each other, Goku was holding back a lot, but even then, he was still beating Vegeta, and this annoyed Vegeta more and more and more and more. How could this be? How could this Rodent Saiyan be so much stronger than him? Because of that dumb wish? Because he's insane? He just didn't know. Eventually, Vegeta would get so fed up, he would throw an artificial moon, turn it into a great ape. But Goku simply instant transmission behind him and ripped off his tail. This shocked Vegeta. He just teleported. How is that possible? He fell to the ground as he turned back to his base form, and Goku simply kicked him down and beat him up a bit until he summoned his space pod. He let him crawl away and go away. As Goku then said, well, I guess it'll be time to go to Namek soon. Piccolo and the rest would say, wait a minute, why'd you make us train so hard if you could just handle it yourself? Goku would look and lie, oh, I didn't know I could handle myself, I just got lucky. Which no one really bought that. As Goku said, well, Gohan, come on, time to go home. And Piccolo, thank you for taking care of my son. Piccolo looked at him and said, I'm not a babysitter. Goku would just enter transmission to Bulma. As Bulma would look over, shocked and scared. Well, Goku, how'd you get here? Not like scared for life, but like startled. Goku would say, oh, hey, Bulma. Anyway, I need you to build a spaceship so I can get to Namek. And, let's see, if I remember right, you can't really use Earth parts because it'll take too long, so just use Kami's old ship. Ask Mr. Popo. Okay, bye. Goku would then just leave. Bulma was shocked and confused, but she would do it. Bulma would find the wrecked spaceship, and began to fix it up a bit and figure things out. As that was going on, Piccolo was sitting down meditating. Goku was always one step ahead of him. It's like he knew everything. Did he know the future? Did he use the Dragon Balls to wish to know the future? That was the only thing he can think of. Piccolo was irritated. Piccolo was forced to train his son for no reason, and yet he kinda enjoyed it. He didn't know what was going on or what was happening, or why Goku was always so strong. Piccolo needed to understand. Piccolo decided to go to Goku for answers. One night, Goku would be alone as suddenly he would hear a knock at the door. He would go over it, and Piccolo was at the door. Chi-Chi was scared, and Gohan would go, "Hey, Mr. Piccolo." Piccolo would look at Goku and say, "I need to know why. Why are you so strong? And why do you know everything?" Goku would sigh and bring Piccolo aside, and he would tell him everything, that he was reborn with all of his memories, and that he did this before. Piccolo was shocked, but it made sense. Piccolo would say, "How? Did you wish for that? Did some divine being make it happen?" Goku would say, "I don't know, but whatever the case is, I know how to do it right. Trust me, Piccolo. I know you're not a bad guy, because I've seen you not be a bad guy. And I know you have potential for growth, and you become one of my best friends." Piccolo would smile, but be irritated at the same time. Eventually, the spaceship would be ready, as Goku, Gohan, and Piccolo would get ready to go. Chi-Chi would yell at Gohan to stay, but Gohan would want to go just like in canon, so Goku, Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin all went out into space. Even though they weren't trying to bring anyone back that died, Goku needed this. He needed to make sure Frieza didn't get immortality. Goku would land on Namek, and as he landed, he told everyone to hide their power levels. They went out and began to hide their power levels as they felt everything around them. They all felt Frieza. It was horrifying, that massive energy, but Goku wasn't horrified at all. Goku began to stretch and said, "Well, time to go fight." Krillin said, "Wait, you're actually gonna fight Frieza? That's suicide," Krillin would say. Goku would say, "I don't know what," but then Goku would realize something. He would then say, "Oh no." Piccolo would say, "What, is Frieza too strong? I didn't meet King Kai." "King who?" they said. Goku would say, "Never mind." Goku would look at him and say, "You guys, gather the Dragon Balls to make sure that Vegeta or Frieza doesn't get it. I will be right back." Goku would go right towards Frieza and say, "Hey, Frieza!" Frieza would look and be confused. Another Saiyan, and why does he look so happy? Frieza's soldiers would surround him, but he would just blow them up. "So, Frieza, do you want to fight? It would be fun." Frieza looks at him and goes, "This monkey is insane. Zarbon, Dodoria, take care of him." Zarbon and Dodoria both charged at Goku, but Goku just stood there. As they both punched him, it did nothing. They looked confused. Zarbon would say, What is this?" Goku would say, "Vegeta told me about you guys, but I've never really met you before." "Oh well, I didn't really miss out on much seeing your all strength." Dodoria would say, "What did you say about me?" "Ugh!" As he would do a mouth blast straight into Goku's face, but it did nothing, as he simply just punched Dodoria straight in the gut, knocking him out. Then Zarbon would transform. Disgusted he had to do it. As he charged, Goku would say, "Ew, you don't look too good in this form," as Goku simply knocked him back. Frieza was shocked. "How are you this strong? No matter, I could still defeat you." Goku would laugh and say, "You might as well go into your final form." Frieza would say, "What? Your final one? And don't try to trip me going to second or third one. I know which one's your final." Frieza looked confused, but then he laughed. "You really that eager to die?" "No, I haven't been able to go all out in a long time. And if I go all out on you, it won't last long. But hey, at least I can have some fun." Frieza then got mad as he transformed to his final form. "Here, put on one of your scouters so you can sense my power. It'll probably blow up, but that'll give you an idea." Goku would say, "I don't need a scouter. I can sense energy without it. And you're pretty strong. For the time, you were the strongest." Well, not counting Beerus, of course. Frieza would look at him and say, "How do you know who Beerus is?" Goku would laugh. Frieza then would get worried. What if this was one of his disciples? What if he sent him out to kill him? Goku would then say this, Frieza, listen, since you've been good, I'll show you my final form. However, just to warn you, it's too strong for you, so I'm gonna go back to a weaker form, so you can have a better fight. It's only fair. Frieza would say, don't you mock me, monkey! As suddenly Goku would turn Ultra Instinct. Frieza was shocked. He's never seen anything like it. He didn't know if it was a Super Saiyan or what. Goku walked towards Frieza. As Frieza tried to hit him, he dodged it instantly and punched him to the ground. As Goku transformed back into base. I hope I didn't hurt you too much. I was trying to hold back, but it's hard with Ultra Instinct. Frieza got up and coughed up blood. Oh good, I was able to hold back. That's good. Frieza then looked at him and said, shut up, you filthy monkey. Goku then turned into a Super Saiyan. Now, it's only fitting I beat you in this form. After that, I think I'll visit King Kai. Goku then remembered that he needs to make sure Trunks is born, so he's going to have to convince Vegeta to go to Earth. However, he can do that later. Goku and Frieza would start to battle each other. As that was going on, we cut to Krillin and Piccolo, who's been gathering Dragon Balls. Eventually, they would meet Dende, who would take him to the Grand Elder. Grand Elder Guru would see Piccolo, and he would see he still had evil in his heart, but overall he was a good guy, so he would unlock his potential. He'd also unlock Krillin's and Gohan's potential, and give him the Dragon Ball. Grand Elder felt Goku battling to save the planet, and he smiled. He didn't know who this hero was, or why he was so strong, but whoever he was helping a lot. Nail looked at Piccolo and said, so you're a Namekian born on some other planet. Tell me about it. Piccolo would tell him about his story, and he would tell him about his story. They both seemed pretty strong. But Nail wouldn't really give up his life to fuse with Piccolo since he's not almost dead. However, Piccolo would still have gravity training in this timeline, and he would get his potential unlocked, so it's not like he was super behind. As they all continued the talk, we cut to Vegeta. Vegeta would be sensing the battle, and he would begin to shake. He couldn't believe this. Goku was so much stronger. Was he the legendary Super Saiyan? Was he something he wasn't? He just didn't know. Vegeta would drop down to his knees, realizing that he's not the strongest, realizing he's not the best, and realizing he might never be. This shattered Vegeta's pride. As that was going on, we cut back to Goku versus Frieza. Goku looked at Frieza and said, well, Frieza, I had a good fight. To be honest, I didn't even really need to transform into anything, but I wanted to do that to at least give you some respect, since you transformed for me. Frieza would say, shut up, but then Goku would grab his arm and say, I know you're probably going to say no, but can you turn your evil ways around, please? It would mean a lot for me. Frieza would say, no, I will never turn around my ways. I am the Emperor of the Universe, Lord Frieza, controller of all, enslaver of planets. Goku would just say, cool. And then Goku would just blow Frieza up, making sure to get rid of every inch of his body so he doesn't come back as Mecha Frieza. Then, Goku would search for Vegeta. It would take a while since he was hiding his power level, but eventually he would find him. As he landed behind Vegeta, Vegeta looked behind and said, are you here to kill me? No. Come with me, Vegeta. Goku would say, I know you value strength above all else. Don't you want to get stronger? Come with me. Vegeta would reluctantly agree. As Goku and Vegeta would get into the spaceship with everyone else and leave. Goku would have brought Vegeta along with him. Everyone else was shocked that he did this, but he just said, rest assured, Vegeta wants strength, I'll make him strong. Then Goku went to the Spirit and Time Chamber and began to train Vegeta. He knew Dr. Dode's drones couldn't come in here, so he turned Super Saiyan Blue and said, this is what you will achieve. And maybe later, once we meet someone special, Ultra Ego, Vegeta would say, special, yes. Train with me, Vegeta. I will teach you how to use God Ki and much more. Vegeta trained with Goku for an entire year, and as they trained, Vegeta slowly started to admire Goku. And Goku began to tell him everything that happened, and how he was reborn. Vegeta was shocked. At first, he didn't believe him, but the more he thought about it, the more it made sense. And he started to realize something. He can become just as strong as Kakarot. He can unlock what Kakarot has. Goku would tell Vegeta, though, that to hide his power whenever he's outside, because then Dr. Jerome can pick it up and it will go into Cell. It is too late to be used for the androids, but Cell is a beast among men, and the less they know, the better. They could use Super Saiyan and all that, but they don't want to go too far. Vegeta scoffs at this, saying, "Maybe I want Cell to be strong. Maybe I want to fight him at his best," Vegeta says. As he walked out, Vegeta felt confident. He unlocked the God Key, and true, he didn't have Ultra Instinct, whatever that was, but he'll learn it. At first, Vegeta was upset, beyond upset. Goku was so much stronger than him, but now he knows why. Goku had an entire life, and Vegeta did have a point in this life at one point in time. Now Vegeta finally feels confident, and he wants a challenge, so he walks out of the time chamber and turns Super Saiyan God as he lands on the floor, then turns back to base, hoping that this will make Cell have a God Key in him. Goku would then go back to his house, annoyed with Vegeta. As he walked in, Chi-Chi would look at him and say, "I need to have a talk with you." Goku would look and say, "What is it?" Chi-Chi would say, "Goku, you're not the same person I once loved. I think we should get a divorce." Goku would look at Chi-Chi confused. He would ask what a divorce was. Chi-Chi would say, "A divorce is when married people stop being married and stop seeing each other." Goku would say, but why, Chi-Chi? You've been different. You've been distant. You don't act the same as you used to. And you threw Gohan, our son, into the hands of Piccolo, a monster. You just threw him in there. Then you went off to Namek and took him with you. For no good reason. Goku would realize that he didn't really have a reason to go to Namek, except he already knew it was going to happen. That's not really a good explanation. Goku would try to tell her that he saw the future, and that Goku needed to tell her. He tried his best to tell her he was from the future, to tell her everything, but she just didn't listen. She didn't believe him, and she kicked him out of the house. Goku would cry. As the months passed, Goku would be alone again for the first time in forever. It seems like he did mess something up. Without telling Chi-Chi any of this, with just going with the flow, trying to speed rush his childhood, he missed lots of memories with her. Memories he won't get back. As Goku sighs, he would sit down. Months would pass. Vegeta would go out in space and kill King Cold, and eventually Trunks would show up, not changing the future timeline because, well, every time the future timeline changed in my what if, so I wanted to keep the future timeline the same for once, just to see how it goes. Sorry everyone who hates that. Trunks would look around as he would not see Goku there. He would wait and wait and wait, but no one would be there except for Vegeta and Bulma. Vegeta would know who Trunks was since, Goku talked to him in the time chamber. Vegeta would say, "You're looking for Kakarot, aren't you?" "Yeah, follow me." Vegeta would bring Trunks to a log cabin deep in the woods where Goku was there. He was sitting down. He simply looked up at Trunks and said, "Give me the medicine." Trunks would say, "How do you know? What's going on?" Goku would say, "I know everything. It doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter how. I just do. Now give it to me." Trunks would sigh and give him the medicine and just simply leave. "Do you know about..." "Yes, I know about the androids," Goku would say right before he left. And the years would pass, and the androids would eventually come. As Goku and Vegeta arrived to see the androids, Goku took the medicine a couple days ago because, he knew he was going to break down. He sighed. "I guess I didn't have to hold back my power for Cell since future Trunks came in. Cell probably shouldn't change much." As then, Dr. Gero showed up with Android 19. Android 19 and Dr. Gero both got ready to fight. As Vegeta got out and fought 19 like in canon, but this time he turned Super Saiyan Blue. This shocked them both. Now, they didn't really know what that was or Super Saiyan, but they couldn't even feel the energy off this one. 19 fought Vegeta. Vegeta quickly demolished him. And he pretended to let Dr. Gero escape so they can lead him towards the lab. As I got there, they blew up the door, killed Dr. Gero, and let the androids out. As the androids got out, 17 and 18 got ready to fight. As Vegeta said, "It's no use fighting us. We've already won. 17, 18, it's over." 17 and 18 both looked at him. As they laughed, 18 would try to kick Vegeta, but he would simply block it in his base form and grab her and throw her to the floor. He would walk over to her. I heard you broke my arm in another time. Let's correct that. Vegeta would battle 18, and Vegeta wouldn't really want to keep them alive, but Goku insisted. And even though Vegeta would love to fight Kakarot, Vegeta's in a pretty good mood right now, because he got a lot stronger in all these new forms. And he feels like he can surpass Kakarot if he learns whatever Ultra Ego is. He has an idea. He can use the Dragon Ball to wish to learn it. Yes, a technique that can rival Ultra Instinct. Vegeta's in such a great mood, he decides just to knock them out. As they would take 17 and 18 to Bulma's lab and remove the bombs. They were quite hesitant and wanted to beat up Goku, but they really couldn't do anything. So eventually, over time, they'll become good. Months had passed, and imperfect Cell's been absorbing people. Not entire cities, but one person after another, high and low. He's felt Vegeta and Goku's power levels before as they trained, and he doesn't want any part of that. He needs to get stronger. He doesn't know how they're so strong, how they're much stronger than in his timeline, but they are. Eventually, though, Imperfect Cell would go to Master Roshi's island. As he found 18 sleeping with Krillin, he would sneak in and absorb her. As he became semi-perfect Cell, then he would leave. As this was going on, we cut to Piccolo. Piccolo was visiting Goku to cheer him up. Then Goku would look at him and say, I almost forgot. I made Vegeta stronger, might as well make you stronger too. Piccolo would say, what do you mean? He would grab his head and instant transmission to Namek. It's time to unlock your potential. Piccolo would look at him, confused. But Grand Elder Guru already did it. It's different with the Dragon Balls. Goku would then gather the Dragon Balls with the Namekians, who all liked Goku since, he saved the planet, and no Namekians even died in this timeline. Guru would still die of old age, though, so there would be a new Grand Elder, but yeah. Not a lot changed for the Namekians, except for they were a lot happier. And as he gathered the Dragon Balls, he made the wish for Piccolo's potential to be unlocked. As his skin turned yellow, Goku would say, I really don't care about the other wishes. Do you? Piccolo would say, not really, but it'll be rude to waste a wish. Goku would then smile and say, I wish Vegeta knew Ultra Ego. The dragon would grant the wish. What is your third wish? My third wish? Goku would say. I don't really know. Do you have any, Piccolo? Piccolo would then smile. I wish for Gohan's potential to be unlocked. As this wish was granted, Gohan suddenly would feel a lot stronger and suddenly have a new burst of energy. As the dragon disappeared, we cut to Cell. Cell would find 17 chilling in an island as suddenly Cell would absorb him and become perfect. Even with his perfect form, he knew Vegeta and Goku were stronger, and now even Piccolo. He had to go out into space. He would train and get stronger. With Goku and Chi-Chi being divorced, Goku was depressed and didn't train as much. However, he would try to get back in the game, and he would try to train again, and he would try to become himself again. He can't believe he lost something like this. It's been a while since Cell attained his perfect form. He's been off training to get stronger, training to get better. But as Cell was training, something would happen. He would finally unlock a new form, a golden form. But something told him that it wasn't enough. Something told him that they were still stronger than him. He just couldn't tell what it was. But Cell just didn't feel good enough. He should have been perfect. He should have been the strongest. But he wasn't. However, one day as he was training on a nearby planet, he would hear footsteps behind him. As he looked over, it was Deborah and Bobbity. Deborah looked at him and said, well, you seem strong. Cell wasn't in his golden form, so Cell just turned gold, just shocked Deborah and Bobbity. And Cell said, yeah, I am. Bobbity would then try to mind control Cell, but it didn't work. Cell simply looked at him angry. You dare try to take me over, the perfect being? As he blew up Deborah. Bobbity got on his knees and says, please don't kill me. Give me one reason why. Bobbity would look up at him and shake in terror as he said, Majin Buu, I can get Majin Buu to work for me, work for us. Majin Buu, huh? Cell looked at him. He didn't really know who that was, so he asked questions, and Bobbity told him all about it.
and he realized having a partner could help fight Vegeta and Goku and prove he's perfect. He wanted to do it on his own, but even with his golden form, he just can't compete. He was gonna need help. Maybe this Majin Buu had what he needed, and if not, he could just, well, kill him anyway, so it would be no big deal.
Cell agreed to help bring Majin Buu back, but there was one problem: he was on Earth, and Babidi could not move the egg. This troubled Cell. Cell could just release all of his energy and have him be awoken, then instant transmission out of there. Cell thought that's what he was going to have to do. Then he would train with Majin Buu to fight them all off. Meanwhile, we cut to Goku and Vegeta, and Piccolo, and even Gohan with his beast form. They've all been training. They've been getting ready for this tournament, the Tenkaichi Budokai. Goku was excited because in this timeline he wasn't really dead, and even though Chi-Chi left him and he was still ruling for that, he was still happy to see his son and happy to get in a good fight. So the tournament would begin, and it would actually not be interrupted. The first fight would be Goku versus Vegeta. Vegeta has perfected Ultra Ego, and Goku's perfected Ultra Instinct. This will be an amazing fight. Vegeta can do absolute damage, but Goku can do absolute defense. Truly a wonderful match. As it's both started, Goku and Vegeta began to test each other, pushing each other up to form after form after form, until Vegeta turned Ultra Ego, and Goku turned Ultra Instinct. Both of them looked at each other and smirked. "You ready, Kakarot?" "Yeah." As then they both charged at the arena, punching each other again and again. Both of them attacking each other, hitting each other, using every trick they could. Both of them were super evenly matched. Vegeta wasn't outpacing Goku, and Goku wasn't outpacing him. It seemed like a stalemate. But then they felt a massive energy, as that energy would Cell. Vegeta and Goku would both look out in the distance, as the crowd was confused and demanded they kept fighting. As they both looked out, Cell awoken Majin Buu. We cut to Cell. As he released all of his power, Majin Buu was awoken, and then he quickly cut off Babidi's head. Buu looked at him and said, "Who you, Bugman?" "Buu, I'm your new friend," Cell would say, as Cell would laugh a bit. "Alright, now come with me." "Why should Buu trust you? If not, you'll die." "I'm far stronger than you could ever believe, Buu." As he showed off his power, Buu would nod, and Buu and Cell would both leave. Goku would want to check it out, but Vegeta would yell at him that they need to continue the fight. As they argued, eventually the power would be gone and it would be too late, so Goku would just reluctantly continue to fight Vegeta. As the battle continued, they both went at it with everything they had, as Vegeta started to charge a massive Gallic gun, as he was in his Ultra Ego form. Goku started to charge a Kamehameha. It was like when they first fought, at least in the original timeline. Here, that didn't really happen. They both started to charge up attacks as the Gallic gun launched into the Kamehameha, and both of them pushed with every single thing they got. Goku would scream, Vegeta would scream, the audience would be intrigued. As Piccolo and Gohan kept on watching, Gohan couldn't help but think about the energy they felt, but no matter. All they could do was watch. The beam struggle lasted for minutes, then hours, as they both pushed each other, neither one of them giving up. But eventually, the key blew up in front of them. Too much energy, all of it exploded into their faces as they were launched off the ring. Vegeta would land on his hair, stopping him from hitting the ground, and Goku would land on the ground, making Vegeta the winner, out of pure luck. Yeah, and I did that since, well, it's debatable who's stronger. I mean, I've heard Akitoriyama confirmed one was stronger, but, you know, Vegeta hasn't really truly mastered the forms of Ultra Instinct, and it's just a lot. Anyway, Vegeta would win. As Vegeta won and Goku looked at each other, they both laughed and said, "Finally, I got a victory," Vegeta would say. And Gohan and Piccolo would fight a bunch of nobodies until they were finally ready to fight each other. Piccolo had orange longer than Gohan. It's not like Gohan trains intensely every day. So it wasn't totally outclassed, but Gohan was still stronger. However, this doesn't mean they couldn't have fun. Piccolo and Gohan both began to battle each other, and Piccolo would stretch out his arm, duplicate himself, and use different techniques on Gohan. Gohan enjoyed it. He really did have a good time. Piccolo would even use a Yumu move on him. As he shot a ki blast, Gohan would dodge it, then he would shoot another, until it surrounded Gohan, and Piccolo said, "Hell Zone Grenade," as it all hit him. As the Hell Zone Grenade hit Beast Gohan, he didn't even flinch, he just smirked.
Dang, Piccolo, that's a cool technique, but we both know it's not going to affect me. Piccolo sighed and said, I guess. Piccolo and Gohan both began to charge a special beam cannon as the special beam cannons hit each other, and it was a beam cannon beam struggle as both of them pushed it further and further and further, or Saganga Sapol beam struggle, if you like saying that word, which I don't. They kept pushing on more and more and more and more until the beam struggle ended, with Gohan being victorious. His special beam cannon went straight through Piccolo's chest, launching him straight to the floor as Piccolo got up and healed. Goku was watching. He was expecting Majin Buu to be awoken. I guess that's what happened, but it happened so fast. Oh well, Majin Buu is pretty weak, so compared to them, so if he comes and causes trouble, Goku will easily be able to take care of him. He didn't see Supreme Kai though. That worried Goku. But with all that going on, finally, the match you all been waiting for, Vegeta versus Gohan. As Vegeta walked up to the stage, are you ready? I beat your father, now it's time to beat you. Gohan smirked and said, we'll see about that. Gohan went straight into his beast form, as Vegeta went straight into Ultra Ego, and they charged at each other. As they punched, the entire world began to shake. They had to hold back their power, sadly, so they would have to turn it down a notch. Trying to hold back and trying to fight was hard. Vegeta had the same problem with Goku, but as they kept on fighting, Gohan would start to do more and more damage to Vegeta. Eventually, Gohan thought he was defeated. As Vegeta laid down, suddenly he stood up and flew towards Gohan, punching him straight in the face, knocking him out of the ring, declaring himself the victor. As Vegeta looked at him, he said, "Victory for Vegeta," as then he fell down. The next match would be Vegeta versus Mr. Satan, and even though he really didn't want to do this, he would throw the match, and Mr. Satan would be the champion, the world champion, and Gohan would try to meet Fidel and try to, spice things up, since Gohan did get told about it by Goku. Goku would be confused, though, as he looked around. Why did Supreme Kai not tell him about this? Why did Supreme Kai not even show up? We cut to Cell and Majin Buu, as they found a time chamber out in space. Cell and Majin Buu would both go into the time chamber and begin to train. As they trained and got stronger, we cut to the Omni Kings. Both of them would look, wow, this is fun. I like this experiment. Yeah, restarting Goku's life was a good idea. But I have a feeling the climax is gonna happen. Yeah, climax. We cut to Cell and Majin Buu. They've been in the time chamber for quite a while. As they both came out, they've been training for years on end. As Cell felt a wave of energy inside of him, so did Majin Buu. Cell would say, "You ready, Buu?" Buu would say, "Buu, it's ready!" And Cell was finally ready to prove that he was perfect, that he was better than Goku, he was better than Vegeta, he was better than all of them, that Cell was the best. We cut back to Goku. Goku was sitting down, enjoying his life. Goku's finally came to terms with the divorce. Chi-Chi was seeing other people. And, well, even though Goten wasn't born, Goku was somewhat happy. He felt bad and guilty about it. Goku should have been born, but because of him, he wasn't. Goku really did mess up. That was the one failure he had. Even when he could redo everything, he made such a big mistake. At least things are going slowly back to what they once were. But Goku shouldn't have rushed everything. With rushing everyone and pushing them to their strongest forms, he ruined relationships that could have been. Krillin didn't have 18 anymore. Goku got up, worried about Cell coming back. He knows he's out there, and so do the rest of the Z-Fighters. They've been training and looking out through space, but they could never find him. Goku would begin to walk, but then he heard footsteps behind him. "Hello, Goku." Goku would turn around and see was Cell and Majin Buu. It seemed we finally get to meet, Goku. I've been waiting to fight you for a very, very long time. Goku would look at him and say, "Where were you?" "What do you mean?" Goku would say, "I know about you." Cell would look perplexed. I mean, he knew someone took 1718, but not him in general. How do you know? It doesn't matter.
All that matters is that I am here to destroy you once and for all, to prove that I am better. And I also brought a friend. Meet Majin Buu. Buu happy to fight. Buu was like a skinny child, because he's been trained for a long time, so he would be skinny. So yeah, he was also very powerful. Both of them were extremely strong. Even with Goku's all of years of knowledge, he didn't know if he could beat him, considering that Cell has massive potential and he's been in a time chamber. Goku would get ready to fight, however, as he turned Ultra Instinct, and Cell would transform into a new form. It was gold, but it was far stronger than Frieza's golden form. This form made Frieza's golden form look like a puppy compared to a monster. As Cell looked at Goku, "Are you ready to fight?" Goku would look at him and say, "So you used Frieza's DNA to achieve that form? That's interesting." "Your DNA? What are you talking about? How'd you know this was Frieza's form?" Goku would laugh and say, "Oh, Cell, I've seen this all before." "Well, I did, until now. Things are playing out far differently than they did before." Cell was confused, but he just didn't care. He just wanted to fight. So at this point, Goku and Cell began to battle each other. But Cell began to pulverize Goku, beat him limb from limb, hit him in all of his pressure points. As this was going on, the energy was felt throughout the planet. So Gohan and Vegeta and Piccolo all rushed in. As they all rushed in, Cell would look at him and begin to defend himself as Majin Buu fought with him. Even with all their experiences, Cell had massive potential, and training in that time chamber for who knows how long made him so much stronger. Goku realized he was going to have to do the same thing. As Vegeta and Orange Piccolo and Gohan all continued the battle, it wasn't doing much. Cell was easily brushing off their attacks, enjoying it. Cell said, "When I became perfect, I was supposed to be the strongest in the universe, but you robbed me of that, so now you are gonna pay." As Cell laughed, he looked at Gohan and blasted him with a death beam straight in the chest. He fell down, almost dead. Goku quickly fed him a sensu bean, and they all instant transmission out of there. As Cell would yell, "Damn it, damn it, damn it, you coward!" "Don't worry, I know where they're gonna be," Cell would say. "Come on, Majin Buu." Majin Buu and him began to flow up to the time chamber on Earth, as Goku and the rest quickly ran in there to train, not knowing how much longer they could have. Goku and everyone else then began to train. They trained with everything they had, pushing each other more and more and more. Orange Piccolo, Vegeta, Goku, and Gohan knew they didn't have much time in the real world. So they would probably have some hours, maybe some days in here. But Cell would know where they were. They trained and pushed each other with every single thing they got, fighting each other, destroying each other, using Zenkai Boos, using every trick in the book to get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. As that was going on, we cut to Cell, who's walking to the time chamber. Kami stepped in front of it, who used a wish to have eternal youth. He looked at him and said, "Please, Cell, don't do this. Why wouldn't I? Why shouldn't I? The longer you wait, the stronger they'll be, and a more of a worthy fight you'll have." Cell looked, and he smiled. "All right, I'll give them 3 hours," Cell said, as he sat down and looked at the door, ready to fight them at their best. Because Cell had Saiyan DNA inside of him. That DNA that told him to fight more. That DNA that pushed him further and further. That DNA that craved a good fight. That craved a battle. Made him want this. As he waited the 3 hours, eventually he would go in. As months passed in there, they have all gotten quite a bit stronger. As Cell looks in, so does Majin Buu. Cell turns gold and looks at them all. "Are you ready to fight?" They would nod as they all started to battle Cell and Majin Buu. As they battled, the entire time chamber began to shake. Even though it was infinite, their power was so great and sent out shockwaves so far, they could not see a single inch of the ground that didn't shake. As they continued to push each other more and more, hitting each other with everything they got, but Cell was still too strong, and Majin Buu had regenerative abilities and had great potential too, and even unlocked God Key. Both of them were so powerful. They were on the ropes, on the back end. They tried technique after technique, but no matter what they did, it just didn't work. Cell would begin to laugh. "I'm ashamed of you, Goku. I thought this was going to be the final showdown, but you're just a disappointment." Cell would instant transmission behind Gohan, then punched a hole through his stomach.
As then he pulled it out, Gohan fell to the floor as he stepped on his neck, snapping it. Ironic, in one timeline Gohan defeated Cell, in another, Cell was his doom. Goku looked at Cell as tears filled his eyes. His only son was dead, and it was all his fault. Tears in his eyes, he looked at Vegeta and said, "Now!" As Vegeta and Goku did the fusion dance, they fused into Gogeta, Ultra Ego, and Ultra Instinct. Cell and Majin Buu charged, as they both punched him with all of their might, but it did nothing. Gogeta knew he had to take them out right here, right now, and with the rage of the death of his son, he pushes his fist straight through Cell's chest. Cell would fall down and begin to heal, but as he was regenerating, he would charge a massive Kamehameha and hit Majin Buu with it, destroying him instantly. As then he looked at Cell. "It's over, Cell." Cell would look at him and say, "I don't care who you are. I don't care who you fuse with. I am perfect. I will not lose. I refuse to lose." As Cell charged a massive Kamehameha. As they launched straight towards Gogeta, Gogeta used a Big Bang Kamehameha as they both hit each other. The Big Bang Kamehameha started to push against Cell's face. As Cell turned to a one-handed Kamehameha, so he instant transmission away. But then, Piccolo blasted him in the back, distracted him. As when he looked back, the Ki Blast hit him straight in the face, and it destroyed Cell. Goku and Vegeta would unfuse and go out, and they would wish for Gohan to become back to life. As all that was going on, we cut to the Omni Kings.
The Grand Priest would look at all of them. As he looked at them, he would say, "I think it's time we end this. It was fun to watch, but we need to end this experience, my lords. Of course, if you give permission." The Omni Kings looked a bit sad. "It was so fun, though. Don't worry, we'll be able to do stuff like this again." The Omni Kings nod as they agreed to end this situation. Goku and Vegeta would be training with each other, when suddenly they felt a massive energy come towards them. It was Beerus. Looks like it was time for him to ask about the Saiyan God. As they were all intrigued how Beerus would take the news that they were actually much stronger, Beerus showed up, but this time it was with Supreme Kai Shen also. They were confused as they both looked at him. "So you hear about a Super Saiyan?" Beerus said, "Cut the act. I know everything was reset. I'm not an idiot." Goku would say, "How?" "Let's just say gods have a knack for these sort of things. Anyway, Goku, the Omni King wants you to do something. He wants you to have one final great battle." "What do you mean final?" You'll see. Don't worry, he won't erase you." "Well, come on, Goku. Follow me. And Vegeta, bring your friends too." Goku and Vegeta looked puzzled and confused, but they decided to bring the Z Fighters with them. As they all began to follow Beerus, Beerus would look at him and say, "Are you ready?" "Ready for what? You haven't even explained anything, just some showdown." But then, Whis decided to take him away. As they all traveled, they would look at each other puzzled and confused. Beerus would say, "This is just for the Omni King's amusement. After this, we'll tell you what's going on." Goku was even more confused. For his amusement? Did he reset the timeline? Can he even do that? Well, he is the Omni King, so I guess that would make sense, Goku was thinking. But as they all landed, suddenly, Frieza would walk out and turn black. "Hello, monkey." Goku and Vegeta would both look at Frieza. As they would say, "What?" Beerus would say, "This is the final test, the final battle that he's been waiting to see." As they looked up, it was the Omni King watching them both. Frieza would say, "I hate being a puppet, but if I win, I get so much. So I'll let it slide for now. Come here, monkey. You're used to this, being used for a show." Vegeta looked at him, pissed off. As then he looked at Goku. As Frieza turned black, Goku and Vegeta knew what they had to do. Vegeta looked over at Goku as they were about to do a dance, but then Beerus threw down some earrings. "Here." The Omni Kings thought this way would be more entertaining. Vegeta and Goku picked it up and put the earrings on as they fused into Vegito. Vegito looked at Frieza as Frieza turned into his black form. The Omni Kings were amazed. "Wow! Wow! So much power! This will be fun. Yes, very fun." Black Frieza said, "It doesn't matter how many monkeys you put together, you're still a monkey, and it's no match for the Emperor of the Universe." "Oh yeah? You didn't say that last time Goku beat you." Frieza would look mad, as Frieza and Vegito would both begin to fight each other. At first, Black Frieza had the upper hand, but then Vegeta would tap into his Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego form, and he would easily be able to demolish Frieza. But then something was wrong. Frieza got up. Vegeta would cut him in half, but then Frieza would just get up and heal. Then more Friezas would show up. Vegeta was confused as he looked around, but Frieza after Frieza after Frieza would show up. Vegeta would be able to destroy them one after another, but no matter how many times he destroyed them, they kept on coming. Vegito would start to summon a Keyblade. As he spun around in circles, chopping them all up. The two Omni Kings were excited. Good! Very good! This is exciting. Yes, very exciting. Vegito kept on fighting the Friezas, but his time limit was going down faster and faster and faster. As Vegito would get on his knees and say, "What the hell is happening?" Suddenly, all the Friezas would disappear. As Zeno looked down at him with pity, "He sounds mad. Yeah, we messed up. Yeah." As suddenly the Grand Priest would walk up to Vegito. As they both unfused, the Grand Priest would take Goku's hand and say, "We need to tell you something, why all this happened." Goku would say, "Please tell me." The Grand Priest took a deep breath and said, "It's not real." Goku looked confused. "It's not real? What are you?" But suddenly Goku would wake up. He was in bed, but he wasn't in his house. The Omni Kings looked at him as the Grand Priest started to explain. "You see, we have the power to look through dreams, and we thought this would be a fun scenario for our sires to watch. They've been bored ever since the tournament ended. I hope you understand. Thank you for coming by and providing entertainment." Goku was actually upset. That entire experience wasn't real. He experienced an entire lifetime, but it was just a dream. Goku would have PTSD from this. Every time he does something interesting, he would wonder if it's even real now. Goku was frustrated and even mad at the Omni Kings, but he couldn't say it since they could just erase him. Both of them looked at him and started to talk, but Goku wasn't his friendly self anymore. That Goku was dead. This Goku lost everything and found out it wasn't even real. But there was still some hope. After Goku talked to the Omni Kings, he would go back to his house, where him and Chi-Chi would still be together. He would run in and hug Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi said, "Where were you? You were gone all day." Goku said, "I'm sorry." "Shh, I love you, Chi-Chi, more than anything. I didn't realize how much I truly cared about you until I lost you." Chi-Chi said, "Lost me? What are you talking about?" Goku would tell her everything, and Chi-Chi would actually be worried about Goku and be angry at the Omni Kings herself. But Goku's life was finally back to normal. As he looked at Goten, he would pick him up and hug him tightly, and Goten would begin to laugh. "What are you doing, Dad?" "Spending time with my beautiful son." "I'm so glad you were born, Goten." As then Goku would decide to instant transmission to Gohan's house. As Gohan looked behind him, it was his dad. He said, "What's wrong? Is there a new threat to Earth?" Goku would look at him and say, "There's a threat, all right, but it's not to Earth." Gohan would get up and say, "The whole universe?" Goku would nod his head no. Goku would say, "A threat to my mental health." Goku would then hug Gohan, and Gohan would say, "That's a smart thing to say. Where'd you learn that word?" "You taught it to me in my dream." "What?" Gohan would say, confused. Goku would say, "Never mind that. I want to spend time with you and Goten." Gohan would say, "Well, that's actually a good idea. What do you have in mind?" "A nice camping trip." Gohan would agree, and he would take some time off and go on a camping trip with him and Goten. And they would spend time together. Goku was happy that this was real. He was happy that Goten was born. He was happy he got to spend time with his wife, but even though he was happy now, he couldn't shake the feeling of being used. He couldn't shake the feeling of being watched for amusement. On the Tournament of Power, that was different. If he lost, his entire universe would be erased. And after all that, it was revealed to be a test. But here, he was just watched for amusement, like he was some lab rat. He wasn't as prideful as Vegeta, but he still had some pride. That was revealed in the Super Saiyan Gods arc. And he just couldn't shake it off. But he would look past it, because all that mattered was the people who were close to him. And Goku learned that even though he didn't know if this was real or not, even though every once in a while he would think he might be still dreaming, Goku learned to respect and honor his family. He always knew how to do this, but he learned how much they were truly worth, and he learned how much they are. Even if they're not real, they're still his family, and love is the strongest thing of all.